it becomes like a source for other couples to know about our journey. And
So when she did the lace envelope thing, it exploded in
Yeah.
popularity.
It feels good to share whatever you have experienced. After my wedding, I still need to pick up rubbish to help couple have a memorable wedding planning journey. This year is our 15 years of marriage.
Welcome to the We Love, Laugh, Kiss podcast. This is a show where we dive right into everything marriage, relationships, and wedding related. This is hosted by none other than a company that is based right here in sunny Singapore, Rosette Designs. Hi everyone, I'm your host. Today it's a special episode where I'll be joining none other than Hellen and Winston and find out a little bit more about how they started Rosette Designs, how the journey began. My name is Esther, and I hope that you'll enjoy this podcast episode. Hi Helen, so you are the founder of Rosette Designs, and on your left we have Winston, your husband, silent supporter, strong supporter.
Not so silent,
Not
but
so
yeah,
silent, but yeah.
but supporter, yes.
So today we're going to dive right into your wedding story.
Mhm.
So let's rewind a little bit. Let's go to 2008. Can you share with us how your wedding journey began?
Oh, wow, 2008. I think our journey starts with planning for the wedding itself. Although that is before he proposed, so we plan as where how Singaporean plan by getting a BTO. So that's where we plan the wedding. Then after that we dive into wedding blog because it was the era for the blog. So that's how We Love Love Kiss blog started.
I mean, I add on to that as well. I mean, as you said, it's very Singaporean for us. I didn't really do a proposal right out front. So we decided we need to BTO. But then with that comes the preparation of the wedding. Actually didn't really come first thing that we need to have something to remember the wedding by. But then I think as she was preparing for the wedding, she wanted to document it down. And what better way to document it down? Okay, in a sense, I think she liked it to be quite public as well. So when we document it down, she decided, hey, it's nice to do it as a blog. So when we did it as a blog, one of the first things that we started to do is to document it from a gender point of view. So when we wrote the blog, it was when it was titled "She Says" is something that Helen wrote, and when it's something I wrote, it will be "He Says." So you have both sides of the wedding preparation.
It's both perspective from the bride and then the groom side. And somehow the blog become popular and it got picked up by a wedding blog in the US. So I did a tutorial of how to do a lace envelope for my own wedding. So from that tutorial, actually the pick up by the wedding blog in the US and it went viral. And in Singapore, subsequently it become like this is prior to all the Singapore brides, all the publication out there. So it becomes like a source for other couples to know about our journey and also our insight wedding planning. Yeah.
So I think that was a time before Instagram, before
Yes.
TikTok,
Before Pinterest.
that was I think there was some pent up demand for wanting to know how things are done. So when she did the lace envelope thing, it like exploded in popularity.
Yeah, that's how we started. So eventually leads to other things.
Was it something that you expect for it to blow up in popularity like that? Was it something you foresaw?
No, actually we didn't. Okay, Winston, he likes kind of a bit of popularity because as we blog about it, the readership getting up, and we even went to some place like maybe hotel. Then the next couple after us, right, come approach us and ask, "Are you Winston and Helen?" Because they also follow the blog. So it's something that we find it. Hey, some people out there actually read through our blogs. Even one of our current staff in Rosette Designs, she's also one of the early follower from the blog, like 10 years ago.
If I may just pick up on that point, what was going through your mind in that very initial stage where suddenly your blog, he says, she says, turns into something where real life couples came up to you and talked to you? What was going through your mind?
I think this is prior Instagram. And I think it feels good to share whatever you have experienced, and then by sharing, you show that you actually care for others also. I think that is translate well when we see the demand, or we see a gap between wedding design and wedding planning on a florist, because I was searching for a vendor that can cater for what I need for wedding design. But back then, there's only wedding planner or florist, so I couldn't find that vendor that I want. So I become that vendor. So eventually, our readers start to ask us to design their wedding.
And picking up on planning, right? You know, looking back, what part of that planning process that you just described did you feel changed you the most?
Well, I just pick on one point first. I think there's an innate need that if you are popular from the blog, it feels good, definitely. Other than the lace envelope, the second most popular thing that arose from the blog was the budget planning, the budget planner. So I did an Excel for budget planning, putting in all the different items. Then we did say that I didn't just post it outright. So I just say that anyone wants to ask from us, just message in the blog. And then that was the one that even up to, I think 3-4 years after that particular post, we still get people asking us for that Excel.
Yeah.
So it from her point of view is definitely the decor and all that. From the guy's point of view, is budget, knowing how much I can spend. So I thought putting this together, documenting it down, I think it helped in the popularity.
Interesting part that you brought up, and this deviates a little bit from the questions because I see that it's your strengths that are being highlighted through this planning process for yourself, Winston, for yourself, Hellen. How do you think this dynamic, works in your relationship? Because it seems that it's very complementary. You are doing one portion that speaks to the budgeting that people need, and you're doing another portion that speaks to the decoration, the planning, that aesthetic and that eye for. Could you share a little bit more about that in the context of your relationship?
Yeah, I think that our relationship also works at for me, I will think about the aesthetic, the interior of the house, or all the fun stuff, fun activities, where Winston will be stressing out on the logistic and also the budget finance.
Yeah, I'm the check and balance. Check and balance to make sure that everything is okay.
Yeah.
So I think to expand on that is how our business came about as well. So when Rosette came about and people approached her and wanted to start, Rosette started as 2 big branches. Although the overwhelmingly bigger branch is the decor portion.
The decor portion.
The other portion is the planning and coordination portion.
Which is his strength.
Yeah, so the business didn't come with just one. It came as 2
the
departments.
decor and the coordination, because I believe that this is like kind of right brain or left brain, the creative side and then the admin side. So that kind of complement is also in our relationship, and also translate to a lot of couples that we serve over the years.
I think that's very interesting. And would you say that this process, starting the business from blog to business, has it changed you as people individually?
Yeah, actually, I didn't really think that we want to do the business yet, but I do see there is a need for this. So I immersed myself in wedding planning course. So I took, as a bride, I took a wedding planning course like Bridezilla, right? I want to know how does the professional do the wedding planning. So, but by learning about that, I realized like wedding planning is so many things. It's almost like impossible if one person have to do everything and didn't get stressed out. Especially when you are the bride, like you really don't want to coordinate the wedding, run the wedding. So I decided to have a wedding coordinator on the day itself. So the business came about because there is, I think, demand from what we are doing. At that point, not many vendor or not many people, not many company does that. So it just naturally, like people start messaging us, hey, can you do my wedding also? And we also have requests to do exactly like our wedding. We have an outdoor wedding back then, 2010. Well, I think it's not so popular to have outdoor wedding back then because it's very hot Singapore. But I was inspired by all the Americans blog to have outdoor wedding. So we did one, and then we have rosette as the detail. You know, the paper rosette. We fold hundreds of them. That's how the name Rosette come about. Yeah. So from that on, yeah, the business just grew naturally.
What caught your eye about the Rosette design? I mean, you could have chosen many, many different others. Maybe you want to share a little bit more about that particular design.
Yeah, I think Rosette Designs, I feel like it's handmade because you have to use your hand. Also, you need to ensemble it, and there is a whimsical element to it, and also beauty and simplicity. I think that caught my eyes, and the name of the paper rosette itself. And I think back then also quite popular to do paper rosette back in 2010. And I thought the name just stick.
And so now this question is for both of you. At which point did you know, okay, this is going to be not just a blog, this is going to be a business? Could you take us through that very initial starting process?
I think for me, it's just naturally there is a demand, and I see other couples also want to have a well designed and well coordinated wedding, and with my own set skill, I can help them. So with that, then it just naturally, we did that for about 3 years because we do have full-time job. I do understand, like now even I see couples who started a wedding in the wedding business from their own wedding. It becomes a kind of natural thing. Oh, I like this and I go through it, so I started. In the beginning, it was fun, right? It was fun because we only do it on like side business, part time, until the business grew bigger and I got pregnant. So there is 3 components in my life, like the full-time job, the baby, and then the business. So one has to go. And back then I was a designer, senior designer in MTV Asia. So it was a fun job. It was very fun. But I think creating weddings and seeing the couples very happy, it gives me much more joy. Yeah. So I let go the full-time job.
Okay, so from my point of view, when the blog came and then she got the inquiry, at first I thought it was a once-off. If it's a once-off, we're like, okay, maybe help this couple get it done, that's all. But even before that wedding is completed, because wedding typically takes a long time, she got queries upon queries upon queries. So it became a non-stop sales pipe or funnel that continued happening even though we didn't try. We didn't make it a purposeful thing that we want to go out to the market to get people in. But it was an organic growth. It was an organic growth that started on its own before Rosette actually became a viable business. Then I thought the other point that she made, she got pregnant. And when she was pregnant, actually there was a period that I took on the sales for Rosette. Okay, I still am doing my full-time job. So Monday to Friday I'm doing full-time. Saturday, Sunday I help out in the wedding.
Thank you.
Then I did the sales. But when she gave me the sales package and I realized that I could close sales on my own without her, while she is taking care of the baby, you will know at that point of time that something has switched, something has tipped already, that this thing has already become a viable business, a profitable business, and something that we can do on long term. Which thereafter, there was a time that she made the decision. She's going to quit her full-time job and let's do this full-time.
Yeah, actually, it's really not easy to do a wedding business. People think, okay, you have your own wedding, have your own business, maybe then it's easier. But to have your own business, it requires like 24/7, and it's actually quite stressful. So for me, I make a note that I will keep it small when my children is still small. So I do have help. But when I have a second one, that's where I really, really need the help. Then funnily, my first hire is someone who is a fan of the blog. She wrote a very long email about how she was touched because I'm very personal with my blog. So she also write a very personal email. And interesting part is she is my neighbor. She lives just above me, like She live in this floor and I live in this floor. So I hire her, and then every day that's her full-time job is to go down to this level. And it was fun. It was some fun. And then she's the grace that I need during that season.
I think one thing that comes across is that transition and the shift, like you mentioned, the switch in mindset when you could close the sale. For Hellen, could you share a little bit more? Were there any struggles, or were there any moments of triumph going from bride to business owner? Could you share that switch? The moment that was there a specific moment you realized that, like, yeah, I'm gonna do this for the long haul?
Yeah. I think for me, it past the project period is where I find it joyful. I find it joy to keep having on the project and weddings, keep designing weddings and seeing different couple and really listening to their stories. Like they're so hopeful, have a lot of dreams for their wedding. So just listening to them give me so much joy. It's like I'm getting married for them. So, and I also feel that my wedding is like a project, and also other people's wedding is also a project. It's slightly different from interior. I also like to do interior. I design my own house, but after my house is done, I don't have passion to do other people's house. So I liken it. It's different from weddings. I think my passion is really having to hear about their stories, relationship. So after so much soul searching of why we want to do this business, it's really to give couples a chance for memorable weddings so that they have lasting marriages. So I think that's really my why of why we stuck with Rosette Designs until now, like for the past 13 for 15 years.
I mean, my why of doing this is definitely because of her. She wants to do it, that's why I'm doing it. But I have to say, when I was doing my own job outside Rosette, I did tell her that my projects are normally very long term, couple of years. I don't get satisfaction from doing those. But when we are in weddings and we coordinate a wedding, every couple has their own story. And you learn a lot from them as well, and how they handle things, the state of their family. There are many different stories that we can say in future episodes. But the thing to me is the gratification that I get after a well-planned wedding. The thanks that you get, not only from the couple, from their family, from their friends, telling us that we did a good job. No, that drove us on. And a lot of times, I go through a Monday to Friday that is really not so rewarding. Then I go through a Saturday and Sunday that's full of weddings. Yes, it was tough, but the gratification that you get after those weddings make your next Monday to Friday even better. So I thought
He's
that's
very
what Rosette.
popular with all the aunties and uncles. Yeah, I think they're having a joy. Although it's really tough. I mean, wedding is weekend business, is always in the weekend. Also taking time, so we need to balance out. But just hearing their stories and looking at their face when they are so happy on their wedding day, and then we did the job well done. I think that's the kind of fuel that keeps us going. Yeah.
So can I ask Winston, from a husband's point of view, did you feel that Hellen changed in any way? What were your thoughts when Hellen started Rosette Designs?
Well, she's an Indonesian. So I thought when I first dated her, I don't think that she was that satisfied from what she was doing. Yes, she was good at what she was doing, but I don't think that there was the fulfillment within her. I thought that all while she had that.
Really?
Yeah, all the while from the start. I mean, it had manifested itself in more. As she grows now in her influence, it's more different now. But when the start came, entrepreneurship was her lifeblood for sure. Yeah. And I thought what better way than a business that she herself is passionate about?
Mm.
So when she got into the wedding planning, she got the blog, she got the business, she got her first couples, she turned them around for all the weddings that have happened. You can see the change. Once she started this business, there's no turning back already.
Mm.
There were times that things was tough for the business, and there may be
Yeah.
thoughts like, hey, should we go back to doing full-time job? But those times are really like a flicker only. And then from there on, just continue chonging for the business. So for her, I think she's in her element. She's in her element when she's doing business. She's in her element when she's doing all these weddings.
Yeah, but I think I have to contribute that to Winston because, well, just to be honest, wedding industry is a very volatile industry and very seasonal. So it might not give you the most stable, best income generated business because it's very seasonal. Some days, some weeks you don't get business. So Winston is like the pillar. If I have to do this as a main source of income, I think it's really really tough. So the fact that this is a passion business, and I do it out of passion. Money, yes, money is rewarding, but money not the main drive. So it gives me a leeway to still serve the couple, still having vision, mission for marriage. Because to be honest, marriage is not a very profitable, not very sexy word for a marriage. Wedding, yes, maybe wedding people want spend a lot of money, but a marriage is not. So I think for us, that's the pivot that when we send email for anniversary, because we do that every year for our couple, some email come back and say, sorry, we already divorced. So I was quite taken aback. Okay, these are the couple that we saw them really happy on their wedding day, but now years later and they're divorced. So I think that is also something that gives me meaning, not just for a business, that what I'm doing is not just for money's sake or business or passion project, but it's for something bigger.
I mean, we have to. This is the real thing about Rosette. We cannot have, or we do not wish to have repeat customers.
Yeah.
So that's the thing that we always
we
stand
have
by.
another story for another place where we do have
Repeat customers.
I think I mean, when you share, it comes across very strongly that, you know, support is very important. Winston supporting Hellen, and also even if you talk about your couples, this kind of support that Rosette gives the couples as well. It's not just it's not. That's why you say marriage is something that it takes effort, it takes work. So if we can kind of jump into your relationship back in those days. Winston, could you share a bit about how you were supporting Hellen in that initial, maybe first few years, not just 1 year, but like the initial years of the business, even whether you were directly or indirectly involved, how were you supporting her dream?
I think firstly is definitely the time that we had to spend. So Saturday, Sunday became perpetually burned for a couple of years. That I practically don't have a rest day, because Monday to Friday need to work, Saturday, Sunday need to. Then when we first started, we don't really have a proper vehicle. Before we had the van, we had a car. But the car is not exactly that ideal as a logistical vehicle. So when we want to put things, we have to put everything in the boot, put everything there. You can imagine right now for the scale of weddings that we do, one car cannot. We probably need a convoy to do it. Then from there on, we graduated to the van and moving from there. So that was the logistic time part. Finances, I think it was okay. We were comfortable. We were comfortable with my finances to do it. And then the wedding, while we say it's seasonal, I mean, we were doing okay. I think the other part that I'm more directly involved is when we started the coordinate. I would say I'm the first wedding coordinator, the main wedding coordinator.
Yes.
Before like Vivian
others.
and Eunice, all of them coming in. So I was the first. So we set the templates before they all definitely improve much better on it. Because when we first started, couples don't only come in just for decor. So some of them say, I don't want my friends to be coordinator. They want their friends to enjoy.
Yeah, I really believe in having coordinator on your wedding day, so you don't have to work, so-called work or stress out during your own wedding. So even for our wedding, we do have wedding coordinator, but we hire, not we hire, we get a friend who is a wedding planner to help us. But I think we missed out that time. We missed out certain elements, which is the cleanup after the wedding. Can you imagine? After my wedding, I still need to pick up rubbish
That was for our wedding.
for our own wedding.
Oh, that's a major lesson.
The
Yeah, so
major
that was a lesson.
in my wedding gown. Still need to pick up rubbish.
But because of that lesson, definitely for all our couple, we know that we need to cater
yes,
for the cleanup.
yeah.
Yeah, and I guess that was the start. But I do need to say that yes, I may have supported her in more tangible things. I thought that her support on me was bring me on an adventure, because doing wedding and doing this as a business is an adventure.
Mm.
Because Monday to Friday is quite mundane.
Yeah.
It's just a job. But Saturday and Sunday become an adventure because you are going through parties, you're going through making people happy, getting their gratification.
So I think for him also, he helped me in the logistic. I tell you the stories, funny stories. We were in a big gala, and then after the tear down, he's folding the one of the table runner. It's a gala of network marketing. One of the guests, saw him folding and then give him his name card. He said, "If you're tired of this job, give me a call." And he was like assistant director or something. Then after I was laughing. I'm so sorry, dear. I think like lowly job, but he's really doing it for me.
No. You won't feel that way. You won't feel that way when you're doing this. It's okay.
So moving to the next question, because you're sharing all these memorable instances, right? Rosette's vision is really creating memorable weddings for lasting marriages. I want to find out a bit more. Why is that important to you?
Mhm. I think wedding is generally is the happiest peak of couples' journey in life, right? It's the biggest. It could be the biggest party of their life. It's like the first big project, and we want to help couple have a memorable wedding planning journey, so that it becomes like a fuel for their marriage. So when they hit hard times, hopefully they can think back at that moment when they are the happiest, and then get reminded why they want to get married in the first place. I mean, it doesn't guarantee, like, nice wedding doesn't mean nice marriage, right? There's no ugly wedding, but there's so many ugly marriages. That's why we hope that by giving couples that stress-free experience during their weddings, at least they can start well on their marriage.
It's it's like that coffee table photo album. A lot of couples will go through their wedding process and say, why I want to take wedding photos, and why I want to take that book? It's a waste. It's a super expensive paperweight. But then that particular photo or those photo set is a moment where they look the best. They have slimmed down, gone their diet, and went to do their photo with the best makeup, with the best view. What we're doing is to create that party where their loved ones are around them, that snapshot where they feel that they are surrounded by the people that love them the most, and they are with the person that they love the most at that point. So no marriage is perfect, definitely go through our ups and downs. So we are thinking that if this can be a point where when they're down, they can refer it back through the photos, through the videos, and they see they were happy before.
Yeah.
They can be happy again.
Yeah, I have one email from one of our couple when they say they already divorced. Like, they say they happily divorced, but they say, but thank you for making our wedding amazing. So Well, it's kind of bittersweet, right? But I do believe I having a good weddings or memorable weddings, right? Give a good feeling when they think about it. I still have couples replying emails saying, "Hey, we still remember that our wedding day is amazing." So I think, although it's kind of maybe people think it's superficial, right? Wedding is superficial. I do feel that I do have see the value of just creating that feeling, a good feeling. May not be the most expensive, may not be the most grand, but memorable.
Actually, for a wedding, it's not about what you it's about what you see, but more importantly, it's about what you feel about that event, about that moment.
Yeah.
So what we are trying to do is to give them that moment, that memory, that
Yeah, I still remember. We still remember our wedding. I think we still remember that outdoor wedding and then all the fun that we had. Although that was like 15 years ago.
yeah.
Yeah.
When we see the photos, when we see the friends that were there, when we see that tree where we had our vows,
Yeah.
then 15 years later,
Yeah.
now we're sitting here talking about it, but we still remember.
Yeah, this is kind of like a full circle. You didn't ask, but this is why we love Love Kids podcast.
And then interestingly, I think I'm glad that you brought it up because I was just about to ask you what role has your own marriage played in shaping your approach to weddings?
Role of marriage. I think knowing that marriage go through a hard time because we do when on a hard time. I will tell my couple like, I mean, if you have disagreement, how you solve that disagreement will kind of like a training ground when you face challenges in marriage. I do feel like when couple they quarrel in front of us or they have disagreement, although it's not in our place to counsel them, but I really pray for them and also I do try my best to manage the situations. So I think the role in our marriage, in the wedding, is to prepare them for the long haul.
So as coordinators, less of for decor, but when our coordinators, one of the things we want to do is to smoothen out any issues and take away the stress, so that the memories that they remember is all the good ones. We have couples that they tell us they do the decor, then they say they want to save money, they don't want to do coordination. But then they become their own wedding coordinator. They say they don't want to trouble their friends, they don't want to spend money on us. That is like the most stressful bride.
I've seen a groom really shout to his friend. They're so stressed out. Right? So I always tell a couple, don't need to engage professional, but you make sure you have friends who can run the events. At least you delegate to someone. Just be the bride and groom on your wedding day. Yeah.
And I mean, just one more thing. I thought this is not in this scope, but for us, we also, after we go through our ups and downs, we also on our side do pre-wedding course. So we are like some of the pre-wedding
Yeah, I think knowing your own value before the marriage. After we go through the pre-marriage course, okay, we ourselves when we first got married, we didn't have pre-marriage course, so we went through a rough patch of not knowing like, is it you like that? I'm like that. So now we do offer pre-marriage course for our couples, and it's so beneficial for them. They have a lot of conversation that they didn't have before, and they didn't know that they should do. Like I know this quote: the best time to have the map is before you enter the wood. But we all enter the wood without a map. Like we all enter marriage without any map, not so ever. But just hope that it will work. I mean, it will work. You will get off the woods, but in what stage, right? So I think preparing couples, having all this discussion before their marriage is very important.
I'm just curious, what are some signs? I mean, you all have seen many couples, right? What are some signs that you see in a couple that tells you that they are ready for marriage and not just a wedding?
Okay. I think how they react in the argument. If I sense discuss, or belittling or putting down, I sense that for either the bride or the groom, that's the red flag. Means they don't respect one another. I do have couples who break up in the middle of planning, or even quarrel in the middle of design meeting. I really feel the pain. I really feel pain for both of them, and eventually they did went to divorce. So I see that maybe how you feel about your couple, your one another, how your partner, also respect them. So if there's no respect, even in the marriage, even the planning stage, it's very hard for the marriage to survive.
But one of the more common couples that we see I don't know whether that's a good couple or not. Very common one. The lady will be saying, I would like this, I would like that, I would like this. And the groom will say, anything you want.
Yeah, some is anything, some is like no, 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 no. But when he say no, when the guy say no, how would the lady react? It's like if they insist, then it's kind of hard lah. But most of them tends to negotiate a little bit and then find the middle ground. So I seen a good sign.
Yeah. Anyone that actually go through this conflict and come to a middle ground is good. Of course, there are very isolated incidents where there are some brides, I think, that talk to our planners about, oh, should we continue with the marriage?
Oh,
But
yeah.
those
Yeah.
are very
Actually, quite recently, we went through a few couples that go through this very hard phase, mainly because of family, each other family, or even maybe about wealth distribution or prenups and all. It's kind of hard. So we do take a role of counselor nowadays.
Sometimes.
Yeah, counselor. Yeah, and whether should I go on with the marriage, with the wedding? Should I stop? We even did a enneagram personality test for both of them to make sure to for them to know each other and do other things lah. So I think knowing each other's strength and weaknesses, and also the reason why you want to get married is very important. Yeah.
Was that how you all began the journey of the pre-marriage course?
Yeah, I think it's
Seeing the need.
because there's a need and there is a upward trend of divorce. I think Singapore also have high rates of divorce, and we want to help couples to start right, not just for the sake of their wedding, or that, and also for the next generation. I grew up in the very striving marriage. My parents always quarrel when I was young, and that leave a very deep scar in me. So I told myself that I'm not gonna marry the wrong person. Hence, yeah. So I think uh, so marriage is not just about the couples. When they have children, it's about the children also. So I really wants to help couples go through a supportive journey so that they have a supportive family for their kids.
So I think as a summary, I mean, we're not coming to the end yet, but I thought when we first started, it was really a very innocent documentation of the blog, of our wedding journey. It came to a business that was profitable, yet was not something we strive for money in. Then now it has developed to a stable, thriving business, yet at the same time, we want to have some lasting impact to couples. They're just getting married, people that are starting their first project together, that where finances and all the other stress of life, about families, all coming in. Yeah, we are someone that's there as a trusted source or trusted people that can give some advice, but we still champion marriage.
Yeah. So for us, again, why the podcast, right? Even why supporting marriage, I think it's really the reason is we want every couples to have a really loving marriage. With that comes the business that we are doing. It's just a avenue for us to serve. Yeah.
So it's never money first. Doing everything else will.
Money is important. Okay, profitable. Maybe there is times where it's really hard, especially COVID, especially during COVID. Right, COVID is hard for everybody. But it's also during that time, we realize our government even put wedding when all events stop, wedding continues because it's really the start of a family, and they want to continue this. So there's a value in.
Oh, the COVID one can be another episode by itself. Wow.
So We Love Love Kiss is really something that is driven by the passion that you have. What kind of conversations are you hoping to have here?
In the podcast.
Yeah, I think the podcast should have a raw, insightful. We want to interview couples and their wedding planning journey because it might be very different from us when we started back then, and what is the challenge with the new couples. So we want this conversation to be insightful and also helpful for the reader, for those who are also going through the same journey, maybe wedding planning, maybe finding partners, maybe having a relationship, or even thinking about marriage. Like we see this as an avenue to just listen and get insights and get educated about these things. Yeah, it's raw conversation.
A wedding is very different from a renovation. You may move house a few times, you do it a few times. It's different from having a child, which is a lifelong journey. Wedding is a very isolated 6 months to a year event. You're planning for the biggest party that you're ever going to have, and you are basically doing it with the person you love, and it is probably one of the first major project you're going to have. So I thought having this podcast and talking about this very important first step that actually directs where your other events that's going to happen, like your renovation and your child rearing and their education will come about. This important first foundational step is not talked about enough. So I thought this podcast by itself will open up authentic conversations, go through stories among different couples that we have talked to before and serve as well, and see where they have.
Because there's so many, a lot of insights and stories and so much emotion, like when the couple talk about their wedding and what they went through, at least other couples can also benefit from it because they all gone through it only once, right?
Yeah,
everybody says like, we don't know what we don't know. We only got it once. Yes. So maybe getting insight from others will help whoever that loves to hear wedding stories, because there's so much stories in the wedding preparation, and couple who are going through this journey or preparing for their marriage. And who else? Maybe the singles, the hopeful, the romantics, hopeful.
Yeah. I think the singles, they should hear this, listen to this, and then get inspired.
So before we wrap up, I'm going to ask Hellen and Winston, what's one thing that each of you, please share, makes you still love, laugh, and kiss, about each other? What is one special thing that you want to share about each other?
This year is our 15 years of marriage. I think we love, kiss, love. One thing that we learn after 15 years of marriage, right? Especially when our marriage went to a really bad patch, is to set aside time for dating, for date night. We used to live a very functional life. We have 2 kids. Our kids, one is 13 and 11 this year. So we live a very hectic life. Then when our marriage went through a storm, then we realized we need to have date night. So I think date night is one of them. We love. And then laugh, I think, what is laugh?
It's up to you. You don't need to have a 3-pointer also.
Okay, laugh, I think maybe, I don't know, just to have a light conversation, right?
I'm very unserious on her.
Unserious. Yeah, maybe just have fun. For us, is it watching movie? No. Do we watch movie? Oh,
I mean, just for me, I think at the end of the day, what kept us going, a large part of it is Helen's strength. Helen's strength throughout this entire 15 years is truly the foundation that kept this going. I mean, a lot of the functional financials or functional things that get things going, yes, it's me, but I thought the heart of the marriage, the heart, the love that keeps the marriage pumping, a lot of it came from her strength to keep this going. And definitely with our spiritual dependence as well.
yeah. I think all glory to God lah.
Yeah, all glory to God that we are doing. I think we are doing well, and it's definitely gonna be more 15
Yeah.
years.
I think our own marriage have stories that will help other couples. That would for another time. But we went through practically storms, all challenges that other couples also went through. So it's not always bed and roses, right? But we stick to it. We have gone through it. We have help, and then now is to the next level. So I think marriage is never a stale moment. It's always evolving because we are evolving as a person, right? As a business owner, as a leader, as a mother, as a father. Now we go through seasons of our children going to a teenager. It's another challenging period of our life. But we are like partner. So maybe acting like a partner in this life together, that makes this whole marriage journey memorable, enjoyable. The friendship that we have. I mean, we are lover, we are friends, and we support each other. I think also communication is very very important. Connecting.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think our communication definitely improved, and
Yeah,
very importantly, we started as friends first.
yeah.
If a couple don't start as friends first, I think it's very hard to.
No, I think a lot of couples, especially nowadays, right, it's all swiping. They don't start from
Yeah, no, starting as friends, man.
Yeah, so I think yeah, so that's another, maybe that's an episode that how to build friendship although you only know each other like within 5 minutes, right? So yeah, go through challenges, but I think becoming each other's friends, that is also very important.
So, I mean, as friends, if I can ask something that might be on the hearts of some listeners, what is one message that you would leave to each other, presuming that, you know, the other is not in the room right now? Maybe it could be a word of thanks. It could be a word of, you know, a memory that you're shared in this whole journey since 2008 until now and moving forward.
Oh, say to each other, say to, I think if Winston not here, I'm just, I will say I'm just glad that I say yes to this adventure, and then to stay in Singapore with him. And there is, yeah, the journey is well worth all the pain and all the struggle. Yet there is so much hope, and I think our future is bright.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say something that I said during our dating time. I think anyway, I need to thank Helen for being around, to sticking through all this, and frankly, my life is very black and white,
Hmm.
black and white chessboard life. And she's the one that added color in my life, and let's continue to have more 15 years.
Mm. Yes, 15 years more years to come.
So you've seen people come and go. Helen, Winston, could you share how long do you think your business will last, and you know what are some of your thoughts for the future?
Okay, generally, wedding industry is really not for the faint-hearted. You might get excited in the beginning, right? Because it's still fresh. A lot of couples go into the business, the wedding business, when they go through wedding preparation process. But I think for me, because the passion is for marriage, and for me, as long as there will be couple who wants to have well coordinated, well-designed weddings, I think we'll still stick around. We also have a lot of team member that is passionate. I think in the era of AI, right? Okay, he's an AI guy. It's in the era of AI, we crave relationship more, and I think wedding will never be replaced by an AI. So I think like event, the get together. I think as long as we want to serve, we continue to serve couples, and the couple still wants to have that meaningful marriage. And every time I hear couple, I think it's like a fuel for me. So I don't know how long we'll last doing weddings.
As long as people get married, the business will not die.
Yeah.
It will not die. It just have to evolve. As we evolve through COVID, which will be explained in the future, when the only thing is weddings are getting smaller.
Yeah.
So it's okay. As things get more intimate, we will find our ways to make it memorable.
I think now is Rosette go through the second generations. I'm still leading Rosette. I'm now leading a team that leads the wedding itself. So now our team is young millennials who are passionate about serving others. So as long as I find team members, or I find people who really want to serve others and people who needs it, Rosette is still gonna be there. I might not be there for like maybe 20, 30 years, 40 years, but I hope the legacy that Rosette will bring is to the world is the relationship, like to remember relationship, to remember to have strong marriage, relationship. I think that's the legacy that I want to leave Rosette with.
Yeah, and as long as Rosette is around, weddings will go on, and it's fueled by so many romantic people. It is a business of romance.
Yes, I think we still want to be around because people need romance. We need inspirations. We need to be inspired by love stories. You know, the Gen Z, they say now that they don't want to get married. More and more young people don't want to get married. I think we need to have inspirations that there is still love story behind it, and it's still there. I mean, love stories, romance is still there. Didn't die.
No matter how technology is, Rosette will still help in creating that warm, fuzzy feeling that someone need in their wedding.
Yeah.
It will never go away.
What are some ways that you are sharing some of that hope and that inspiration to future couples? Apart from this podcast, of course.
I mean, I can't say for young people, but every time when I do coordination, if I have the chance, I'll tell the couple, please write your own vows. Say to each other. Look at them eyeball to eyeball and say it. That is that moment that we cannot.
I think, well, in a wedding process, right, you kind of tear up when you hear the very meaningful vows or people says. I think kind of inspired others maybe to also want to have the same love stories. Some couples are very inspiring in terms of how they love each other. They fiercely love each other. Yeah, I hope that inspire people to wants to do the same or want to do more, want to find their true love.
At night before you fall asleep, do y'all still talk about work, or do y'all have like a work mode on, switch off?
Yeah, we don't really talk about work, right?
No, I don't talk about work actually. Sleep trumps everything. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't talk about work. I think that's also a good thing that we are not in the business together. I salute couples who are in the business together because I think the stress level is another level. Stress is another level. But for us, we stop when we have date night at night. We just talk about our days, our feelings, and we go sleep.
So if you enjoyed this episode, I hope that you can subscribe, leave a comment if you want, and of course, subscribe to Rosette Designs on YouTube. You can follow us on Instagram as well. Keep up to date with our socials on Hellen's Instagram or Rosette Designs Instagram. We also have updates on Telegram.